It's week 5 of the football season, and tonight the Seminoles are at Fort Frye High School. The opponent, the Fort Frye Cadets. The Cadets with a record of 2-2. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler than we've had some evenings, but a great night for football, almost ideal football weather. This is Jeff Stevens, joined tonight on the camera by Jason Jones, and alongside Lance LaFollette, as Dale and Joe, I don't want to say they have the night off, but they are on assignment. Now, if you want to check out their assignment, I think at noon on Saturday, they're filming the Indian Creek game that will be shown at noon on Saturday on Channel 7. So if you want to check them out, you know, and give them a little critique of their job. So, Lance, you know, a long trip down here, but as I said, a great night for football. You know everything there is about Fort Frye. Coach Acosta filled you in the other night. Tell us about them.
Well, Fort Frye coming in at 2-2. It's basically a typical Fort Frye ball club, Jeff. They like to run the ball. They won't put it in the air a whole lot. They hate to get forced into third and long situations, and that's going to be a key for Monroe Centrals to get them into those. But every year we talked Thursday evening on the show. Every year you come down here, you can expect a battle, and you have to get on them early.
I think we have seen that a couple of trips here previously. You know, a little bit of a slow start. If I remember, I think it was 2 years ago. We may have even fallen behind early in the game before coming back, you know, and getting things, you know, where we wanted them. I know, you know, the coaching staff wasn't real pleased with some things in the first half last week, but once again, these young men responded in a positive way and pulled out a win against a very good football team a week ago. As you can see, the Seminoles are going to receive, and they'll have Jesse Nippert along with John Shoemaker and Josh Woodby deep. The Fort Frye kicker is number 2. That will be Nathan Ellis. And we are underway. It's a short kick. Matt Cole's going to backpedal and take it at about his own 22-yard line and go nowhere, as he'll be swarmed under by a whole host of cadets.
Host Josh Lockhart, first guy there, one of the defensive backs for Fort Frye.
And it looks like the officials will give Matt progress to the 24-yard line. So good coverage of the short kick by Fort Frye. So not real good field position for the Seminoles as they try to get started and get some positive yardage on the ground early. And I think as with any game, especially on this long trip, you want to get ahead and try to get that first score at some time here. Griffith hands to Shoemaker. Short game.
Yeah, you mentioned it and hit it right on the head there, Jeff. Monroe Central, the big key to them is how they come into the game mentally every week. And last week was a typical situation. They come out in the first half and they were flat. The crowd was somewhat flat. They played flat, and from what I understand, the conversation that was directed towards them at halftime got them a little fired up, and they played ball the second half.
Looks like the same offensive unit as what we have seen the first 4 weeks. Griffith wants to throw. He's going to quick out here. It's complete. Nippert across the 35 to 36-yard line. First down.
Real nice catch there by Jesse Nippert. Number 25, Dan Richards, on the stop. And Richards actually held Nippert there, as you saw on the break. Nippert's jersey was pulled clear out when he made the outcut. Nice pass, nice catch.
On that offensive line, once again, we see John Cecil as the tight end, Darren Grubb, Robert Muntz, Jeremy Beardmore, Brad Demmerling, Tucker Roberts. We have Matt Cole, and also as the wide receiver replacing Nippert, Woodby, Miller alternating in the backfield. This is Josh Jones' first carry, and it's a good one. 45-yard line, midfield, 45-40. Down the sideline, picks up a block from Shoemaker. He's going to be near the 25-yard line, and a late flag comes in near the point of the tackle. We'll see what that is.
Josh Jones showed a nice burst of speed there, Jeff. He broke to the outside and actually ran away from a couple guys.
And it is a face mask penalty against the Cadets. That'll add even more yardage on. So you saw Jones and the run there. We saw Shoemaker a moment ago. As I mentioned, Miller and Woodby will be alternating at the halfback, and Derek Griffith, the quarterback.
One of the big keys for Monroe Central, Fort Frye typically will come in and line up and really stack the players in there and make you put the ball in the air, and we're going to have to be able to do that if we're going to be able to open up the running game. So we come out and got the early completion and maybe get some, backing out of there a little bit.
That run by Jones, somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 yards with the face mask penalty on at the end, will give the Seminoles the ball at the 12-yard line. Second back is Woodby. He'll have near 5 yards to the 7. Once again, as we have seen every week thus far, Coach Acosta willing to give the ball to a variety of different people in that backfield.
Well, and that opens it up for your big guys, Jones and Shoemaker. You have to keep teams honest. Coach this year more than probably ever has really shuffled the guys in and out. You'll see guards bringing the plays in. Matt Cole just come in for John Cecil there to bring the play in. So a lot of different guys playing a lot of ball, and that helps your program out.
And a little bit new formation with a flanker, a split end, and a double wing with one back, Shoemaker. Woodby in motion, flag from the back judge, and that's delay a game. We've talked, in previous weeks, using Woodby and Miller along with Jones and with Griff. And there we've seen a lot more the last couple of weeks, riding those fakes in there, and the keeper using his speed the outside. And you can't say enough about the ball handling and the faking by Griffith along with Shoemaker and Jones in the backfield.
Well, that's a big key. Your quarterback, if he can hide that ball, hide the handoffs, hide the fakes, and Derek Griffith's done just an outstanding job. It really opens up his ability to get outside.
Second down and 10. And there is that fake to Woodby. Griffith trying to get outside, and he'll be able to sidestep a couple people and get most of the 5 yards back that we lost on the delay of game penalty. It's going to bring up third down from about the 7 or 8 yard line.
Fort Frye with pretty good pursuit that time. Several blue jerseys out there, but Griffith showing some speed and able to get around the corner and pick up some positive yards out of it.
A pretty decent job on that far side. Their big defensive end, Tom Anderson, number 81, 6'2", 200-pounder. They kind of strung the play out a little bit and allowed the pursuit to get there. They'll put the ball at the 7 yard line, 3rd and 5. Seminoles can get a first down. Jones, he's off the right side, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. 7-yard TD run, Josh Jones. Seminoles go 76 yards on their initial possession to score.
Jones broke to the outside there and just wasn't anyone there. I'll tell you, John Cecil, John hasn't caught many passes this year, hasn't had the ball thrown his way very much, but you can't say enough about the job he's done blocking. He's really been a real workhorse in there from that tight end spot.
Tucker Roberts will snap it. Matt Cole to hold it. Darren Grubb to kick it. And it's a very high kick. It wasn't real pretty, but it's effective. It's good. At 9 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first quarter, Seminoles on the board, 7-0. And this could be kind of a feed off of last week. The pretty decent second half as far as the offense moving. Even one possession early in the third quarter last week after the halftime. We didn't score, but we were able to get some yardage and get out of a hole. And people remember Caldwell punting the ball out of bounds at the 3 yard line. We were able to get out to the 40 yard line and gain some field position. But the offense, just really opened up some holes. A couple of big runs by Jones. I'm not sure how jacked up the cadets were. I'm sure they were pumped up, ready to play, but that's be a little bit demoralizing to have a team just drive it right at you, all on the ground with the exception of one pass.
Well, the big key for Monroe Central, not only tonight, all year and every year, is to not make the big mistakes. And that was a fairly simple drive. They threw one out pass, nothing real fancy, just running the ball right at them. They throw Griffith on the sweep to keep him honest, but basic football.
This is Grubb's kick. It's going to go to number 25, Dan Richards. Tries to pick a hole up the middle, and a decent enough return near the 34 yard line. Seminole comes out of there with the football. The officials will talk about it, and it is the Seminoles football. Who had that ball, Lance?
That was a slow developing call. It looked like Adam Farnsworth come up with the ball, or it might have been Ben Miller. I'm not sure, one of the two. just a slow call by the officials. They didn't actually blow the whistle, so it wasn't blown dead. Miller come up the back of the pile with the ball.
We'll have to check on that maybe at halftime here and see who had the ball. But I looked at an official to wait for a signal, and that time I lost where the ball was, but they gave the signal. Seminoles. Griffith trying to get outside to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back near the 45-yard line. A loss of 11 yards. That's something we've not seen much this year.
So the advantage, Jeff, is that this game's on tape delay, so the viewers have a chance to stick this on their VCR, back it up, and maybe they can tell us what the actual thing that happened back there.
I know sometimes when you can't see the play, everybody in the stands says, well, I know it. Why can't they see it? Well, maybe they're just got better eyes, or maybe they're a little smarter than us.
Well, we're picking out the little things of the game. Sometimes you miss the big obvious things.
Griff sets up the screen. Shoemaker. We'll get a flag. A short gain by Johnny Shoemaker to the 39-yard line, and that's not going to be a good sign, as that's going to be an offensive penalty. And we'll get the signal from the official, and it is a clip.
I'll tell you, Jeff, I'm not sure, but the clip was right here at the 46-yard line. They called it on Josh Woodby. He had a man in front of him and went out to block him. The running back's behind him. I'm not sure how that can be a clip. I'm sure Woody agrees with me on that. Yeah, he's doing the job blocking the guy in front of him. If the guy turns his back on you, as long as you don't lose contact, I don't think it's a clip by rule.
But then the official just sees the end of the play and throws the flag.
You're exactly
so all the way
right.
back to the 41 in Monroe Central Territory. This is second and a bunch. Jones. He's going to get some yardage across midfield to the 47-yard line. Josh Jones.
Tell you what, Jones running the way he's running, looks like he picked up about 11 yards there. That's almost like putting it in the ball, giving it to your tailback off tackle.
Third down and still about 23 yards to go, we'll call it. Third and 23. Get a portion of it back on this play, and even if you have to punt the ball away, you're going to have great field position for your defense. Wishbone formation, receiver wide left. Second back is Woodby, bounces outside. He's going to get some yardage.
Loses his footing.
Yeah, it looks like he tried to cut back and lost his footing at the 38-yard line. That's still about 14 yards short of the first down, but again, a nice gain. We'll see what the Seminoles choose to do from the 38-yard line, and it looks like they're going to punt the ball as Heath Wells goes back and punt formation. Just talked with Heath today about angling the ball to that corner, so we'll see if Heath's able to get the ball out of bounds down there. It's a good snap. Kicks it high, short. It's going to hit at the 20 and bounce to the 16-yard line, downed by Robert Muntz. So Fort Frye will get their first possession at their own 16-yard line. So, first Cadet possession after their fumble of the earlier kickoff. Their quarterback.
We're looking for a football.
It would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's always a big key.
So they get a football out. So number 9, I believe, the quarterback is Adam Huck. He's a senior. There's number 33, Nathan Meisel behind him. They'll have
normally their workhorse. He'll see the ball most of the evening.
They'll give it to number 46. That's Josh 6. Short gain near the 20. And again, looks like most of the usual defensive characters. No changes made. Heath Wells on the nose. Tucker Robertson tackle along with Robert Muntz, Johnny Cecil, Adam Jones, Josh Jones, John Shoemaker, Matt Cole, Josh Woodby, Ben Miller, Jesse Nippert. Second and 7. Motion again. little bit of a mishandle, it looked like, in the backfield.
Looked like Huck was about to lose control of the ball. He was going down and just sort of flipped it to number 33 there, Nathan Meisel. Actually, that's a pass if you're statistically, because if Meisel doesn't grab that ball and it hits the ground, it's an incomplete pass. So
it appeared he tried to pump fake, and then the ball kind of slipped out of his hands, and a little bit of a juggling act there just to get the ball to somebody in a blue shirt.
We've seen it all year. Heath Wells is so quick off the ball. You know, that sometimes will cause problems. If you look at this formation here with the Knowles, they've got 3 guys piled right up there in the middle.
And a flag into the middle at the snap as they pinch both tackles down. And it's a dead ball, false start against Fort Frye.
You can usually tell that penalty came from the umpire who's lined up behind your linebackers, so it's definitely not a lineup call or whatever. He's seen someone on that interior move for Fort Frye, and that's caused the penalty.
They'll start the clock back running. It's 5:10 in the first period, 3rd and 10. Again, motion by 6. Fake. There's Wells. Heath Wells with a sack. His first of the night.
That's a situation that Fort Frye did not want to get into, and that's a passing situation, 3rd and 10. Wells came through virtually untouched, got right there to the ball. Yeah, he just needs to keep playing this way all season long. I'll tell you what, he's caused fits for teams, and he's causing them again tonight already.
Number 2 is Ellis. Snaps a little bit high, a little bit of pressure. That's a decent kick, good height, Nippert at the 45-yard line. Not a lot of help, and slips down at his own, or at the Fort Frye 45.
That's the second slip we've seen with the Seminoles. This field's dry as can be. A little bit of dew possibly getting on it, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of grass on it, to be honest with you, Jeff.
Well, I hate to say this here around all the Fort Frye people here, but as you look down here, this is probably the poorest condition that I've ever seen a field of Fort Frye in. Usually it's, real plush and green, and just really not in very good shape at all. As you can see, many, many brown spots on that field. Looks a little bit like what I saw at Blair's Nelson Field on TV the other day. Jones off the left side, lots of running room, more than 5 yards across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, the river is actually just behind the visitor stands over there, not very far. With the floods and stuff, I'm not sure if the water did make it up this far this summer, but that's a possibility.
Well, I know for a fact it did get up and do some damage to some places over to the right. From where we are, we can see where they're constructing a new girls softball field that was completely wiped out, and over to our left is the baseball field received damage, and this playing field also was underwater from the river. Shoemaker, he's got lots of running room. 25-yard line for John Shoemaker, first down. And in the early going, the offensive line just opening up some holes. I know one thing, I know Coach, I'm not sure if he mentioned Thursday night on the show, but he did mention to me during the week, this Fort Frye team really is not as big physically as some Fort Frye teams in the past.
No, you look down over their program there, number 57, Eugene Huck, who actually I don't even see on the field defensively. It's their biggest guy at 265, and besides him, they don't have a lot of size in there.
Quick trap, Shoemaker, near the 20. We're still in period number 1. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the period. 7-0 Seminoles. 5 yards on that carry by Shoemaker. It will be 2nd down and 5. Miller in for Woodby with the play. We'll get a slot formation to the left. Jones, and he'll be stopped in the backfield. He'll lose yardage in one of the few times we've seen that this year.
That looked like a jailbreak. The left side of Fort Frye's defensive front did a real nice job reading that play, and all came back there, and the first guy got to him, and a lot of help was on the way quick.
Maybe not on this play, 3rd and 8, but next time the Seminoles get the ball, I would say things are set well for a little play-action pass down the middle of the field.
You're exactly right. And this lineup right here looks like Nippert to the corner could be there. The defensive.
There it is.
There's the play.
There it is. There it is to the corner. Lance, great call. Touchdown.
Wow.
Called like a guy that used to play in.
Oh, that was my play right there. Wing right, power right special. I lived for that play, kept my fingers crossed all game long that they would call it.
And you could see that time, I think, on your picture that Fort Frye had everybody up within 5 yards, even on 3rd and 8, a passing situation. They weren't convinced that the Seminoles would throw the pass. 23 yards, Griffith to Nippert.
How about the pass, Jeff?
Right on the money.
Spiral, right on the money. Nippert doesn't catch it, no one does.
Matt Cole throws for the corner, incomplete.
Preston Kilburn's reach.
But a good call, just something there a little bit different we haven't seen before. Worth the gamble here and the early going. 1 minute 58 seconds remaining in the first period. This one's been all Monroe Central as the Seminoles lead 13-0. Didn't realize that play calling was that easy in here, did you, Lance?
Well, like I said, I would call that play every time if I were the coach. My problem is having to block all the time for the power right to set it up. That's the part that's not so much fun for a receiver. But I'll tell you what, Coach Tercosta has done so well over the years with the simple fact that you have to establish a running game, and he talked about it early in the season. That pass right there, if you're a throwing team, you're not going to complete that pass very often because they're going to keep guys back there. But the guy that was in charge of guarding Nippert that time was 5 yards off the ball, and Jesse Nippert's got too much speed to be guarded by someone 5 yards off the ball.
And you said, too, how about the throw? That has been getting better and better by Griffith. That's a nice kick by Grubb. It's going to be inside the 10. Richards, and somebody had a hold of his ankle. Probably John Shoemaker, it appears. So now the Cadets, their second possession. They've turned the ball over once and went nowhere on their second possession.
It's a little hard to tell who made the tackle on that last play, Jeff. The player for Fort Frye ran by the pile and someone's hand stuck out of the pile and grabbed him. So nice defensive job there by someone.
It looked like it was going to be a nice return, but the Cadets will start on their own 24-yard line. They'll hand it off the right side. Meisel, I believe.
That's 44, Sean Brooker. That's a name over the years has been prominent in Fort Frye football. Every one of the Brooker, I don't know if they're brothers or cousins or what relationship there is, but every one of them's been a good, tough, hard-nosed football player. This one's just a sophomore.
His 3 yards, ball just past the 26-yard line. And that's Brooker once again. Had to kind of hesitate there because with that man in motion, you can tell the Cadets are setting up that little reverse or counter action. And some pretty decent ball handling there by the Cadets and their quarterback Huck and their backfield. But he'll get out to the 33-yard line, bring up third down and a short 2.
Well, you hit it there, Jeff. They send a lot of guys in motion setting stuff up, but that's just a simple dive play right up the middle with your fullback.
And when you're aggressive on the offensive line and sometimes you try to kind of cheat and maybe a little bit of a hard count or going on the second count, and a couple Seminoles jumped, and that's going to give Fort Frye a first down. So sometimes you have to take the little bit of bad with the good.
Yeah, I think that's only about the second or third time all year that Heath Wells has been offsides or, well, been caught offsides. I'll tell you what, I would trade a couple of those for as many times as he shoots through there as quick as he gets off the ball.
So give Fort Frye first down at the 38-yard line. A pass. He goes out here, incomplete. Intended for number 25, Dan Richards. But again, I think as you alluded to earlier, that you'd like to get Fort Frye into a situation where they have to pass the ball. It's something they're not real comfortable with, and trailing 13-0 as we are in the closing seconds of period number 1, they may have to throw a little more than what they would really like.
Actually, Richards was out there. He had a little bit of room, and that's the type of pass that Coach explained to me Fort Frye likes to throw, the intermediate routes, the 8 to 15-yard passes.
There's the first back again, Brooker to the 40-yard line. Josh Jones, and looks like Robert Muntz had a piece of that tackle. And that's going to take us to the end of period number 1, which has seen the Seminoles in the end zone twice, and they lead 13-0.
Wayne A. Smith is a husband, father, and grandfather with educational and professional experience in public administration and a solid financial background. He's proudly served his country for 20 years, managing military and civilian personnel. His past financial experience includes being assistant vice president in a bank. He's recently written grants bringing over $600,000 to Monroe County and is actively involved in our community. For energy, vision, and a new sense of direction to the office of Monroe County Auditor, elect Wayne A. Smith, the only qualified candidate. Dr. and Mrs. Heckert are proud to make Monroe County their home and to serve as your hometown family doctor, along with experienced nurses and a nurse practitioner affiliated with Marietta Memorial Hospital. Woodsville Ashland sells pure gasoline, diesel fuel, and kerosene, and they're pure Seminole fans. Join these Woodsville Ashland fans in their newly expanded dining room for a fabulous lunch, supper, or snack. Try some hot pizza, delicious Caesar sandwiches, salads, or cheese sticks, and top it all off with Kirk's homemade ice cream. The Hawks invite you to follow the Seminoles throughout football season. And follow the Noles to the Ashland because
Ashland has the best food in town.
Period number 2 underway. Cadet ball at their own 40-yard line, 3rd and 8. 3rd and 8. The quarterback, Huck, will do 6 on that little counter action. He'll cut back and get to the 45-yard line, but still be well short of his first down.
6 is actually their number 3 running back, 6 foot, 180 pounds, a nice-sized kid. Had a chance to see him a good bit during the track season. He's a real athletic kid as well.
Nippert back, single safety. The snap is fumbled. Pressure's on. It's blocked.
Tucker Roberts.
We'll get a flag down. And Keith Wells is going to pick it up and go to the end zone. And if it's a roughing the kicker call, we're going to have quite an argument on our hands. The signal was touchdown by the official, so let's wait. We're going to get a holding penalty against Fort Frye. Declined. Touchdown for Heath Wells. Give a block punt for Tucker Roberts. A touchdown for Wells. A lineman's dream.
I'll tell you what, Heath Wells did a nice job to pick that ball up. Monroe Central was fortunate there. The block punt sort of just died. Tucker Roberts got in so fast that he almost tackled the punter. The ball just sort of fell. Heath picked it up and carried the mail.
And I don't know if you could see in the background, and anybody that's here at the game would see that, when that flag went down like that, there was a lot of guys in black jackets over there. Called Coach Sarcosta, Coach Singleton, Coach Sherman, and Coach Withrow, and anybody else over there were about to go nuts. Griff will pitch to Jones. He'll get in. Griffith on the option pitch to Josh Jones. He'll get in to get the point back from the failed fake. 11:18 left in the first half. Seminoles lead at 21-0. But as I was saying there, when that flag went down, I think everybody on the coaching staff, first thing they thought, how can they call roughing the kicker on that?
Well, they all said the same one word.
What?
What can that be?
But it was a holding call, and the head official there, he didn't even look, to a Seminole captain, for the signal. He, showed, holding against the punt team, and obviously that was going to be declined, and the touchdown was going to stand. So he tried to conserve a little bit of time here by getting the extra point team on the field.
Well, Monroe Central looked like they brought everybody in after the block. the up back is who actually was guilty of the hold there, and it really didn't matter because Tucker Roberts came in from the left side. Obviously Wells wasn't helped because he had the ball and was gone in a flash. Showed a little bit of running back speed there.
But when the punter bobbled that snap, that just gave everybody free rein to come after him. So Grubb with the kick. It's a line drive. Ellis at the 15-yard line. He'll be hit by Miller and Shoemaker at the 27-yard line.
Shoemaker on the stop.
You always say that anytime your coverage team can come down and make the tackle inside the 30, they've done a nice job. And that's a couple times tonight where we have seen the Cadets forced to start inside their own 30-yard line.
Well, Darren Grubb in on the tackle again. Darren informed me on the show a while back that he's the number 3 guy, so he's doing a nice job in his number 3 position. He's supposed to be back sort of like a safety valve. Everybody's getting down the field, so what that tells me.
Looked like Shoemaker had a hold of an ankle on that tackle. Matt Cole there to help finish the play off. And a nice gain on first down of 4 yards, second down and 6. Adam Huck, quarterback. He's a 6 foot, 150-pound senior. Again, he has people wide both sides, 6 in motion. 6 will get the ball, cut back, and be dropped at the 36-yard line. That's Josh Jones, who delivers quite a hit. Matt Cole also on the play.
Yeah, for Frye, definitely in a position that they didn't want to get themselves into, and that's 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half. Down 21-0. They're going to be forced to put the ball in the air. It's maybe still a little bit too early to throw in the towel and start firing away, but they're going to have to at least keep the Seminole defense honest.
Seminoles with a lot of people up close to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 2. He'll give it to the up back. This is Meisel. He's got running room. He's got blockers. Nippert will make the tackle. But a big gain, and that's one thing that happens, when you have everybody up tight. Once they get through that initial thrust, there's some running room. So number 33, Nathan Meisel, with a big gain, and Nippert had an angle on him and drops him at the 30-yard line, but a big gain, and to give Fort Frye a first down.
Big game, but I'll tell you, Jeff, that tackle by Jesse Nippert right there was picture perfect. I know, he's a defensive back, and he's not real big, and he's not going to overpower anybody, but he did a nice job there, wrapping the arms and making sure of himself, making the nice, solid tackle.
Sixth on the carry. He's going to be near the 25-yard line. Let's give a little bit of credit here to the coaching staff of Fort Frye. Coach B.J. Scott in his second year. Even though they're down early in the second quarter by 21-0, he's not abandoned his game plan. He knows it's still early, and if he can get a score on the board here and his defense could hold for him, he can get back in this ball game.
Well, they're down. They started this drive inside their 30. They're down to the Seminole 25 now. 2 first downs and then 5 yards on first down this time, so they're moving the ball.
Motion. They'll get a little hand back to Meisel. And I think a great look on your TV there, sending the man in motion with a little fake to that motion man and a little hand back then to the other running back. All geared to try to deceive that defensive line a little bit. And a pretty nice job of ball handling, as I said earlier, by the Cadets.
Well, that's Huck's strong point. It's his ability to disguise what they're doing here, and he's done a nice job so far.
So no gain on the play. The defense was not fooled. It's 3rd and 5. Again, 6 in motion. They'll give it a little counter to Ellis, number 2. He's got some running room and will have his first down. Little inside counter as they send a man in motion one way and then run a reverse back the other way. And I'm not sure that I have seen this much movement as far as motion and deception out of an offense. And we're going to get a timeout as the defense is going to go over to the side. This is something I know in the past. People remember we talk about Magnolia coming out with all kinds of sets and men in motion and different plays. But this Fort Frye team, real nice job.
That's the third time. They ran just 6 on the counter 3 times in a row. Bring the exact same formation, the exact same motion, fake it to 6 and send it to Ellis going the other direction. And he had a little bit of running room. Nice job by the defensive back there from Monroe Central. He doesn't make the tackle, and it's 21-6.
They're just trying to look there during this timeout, as you can see there. Yeah, this gives an opportunity for all the coaches, because I think during this timeout, you're allowed 3 coaches to step out on the field. So Coach Sarcosta and Coach Singleton both can be there and talk with the defense. You see Coach Withrow there also. As opposed to, if you keep the team on the field, only one coach can go to the defensive huddle there. So you bring the defense over, and you can, 2 or 3 coaches can talk to people to try to get some things straightened out. That Monroe Central timeout coming with 8 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter. It is 21-0 Monroe Central. So 1st and 10. Defense a little bit late adjusting to the formation, but now they're square. Huck drops. He wants to throw. He hits his man, Richards, number 25. Nice catch at the 11-yard line.
Ben Miller on the coverage. Ben took a little chance there and tried to step in front of it. Just wasn't able to quite get there. About a step faster, and Ben goes all the way down the sideline with the ball, but it didn't happen, and that's the chance you take. Completion for Frye, pick up a 7 on 1st down.
But not an easy catch by the receivers. He extended his body to make that catch and held to the ball as he hit the ground.
Well, that ball's coming at him at a different angle as well.
They'll go back to the running game. This is Meisel, and he'll be stacked up by the middle of the line. I see Adam Jones angling down from his end position. Of course, in the middle is Roberts. I would have to think that Heath Wells would have to be in the middle of that somewhere.
Someone was in there pretty good, because you could hear the crack clear up here in the press box. No one went flying or didn't see any helmets fly off, but some nice cracking by the pads in there.
No gain, so put the ball right at the 11-yard line. Fort Frye 3rd and 3. Crowd noise from across the way. A big 3rd down play as the Seminoles try to keep Fort Frye off the board. Again, they'll reverse it to 6. He'll cut back and be very near the 1st down. Jones and Shoemaker along with Cecil, as we'll take a look and we'll get a measurement. And from here it is very close. It looks like they might have the 1st down, but we don't have a real good angle.
Well, I'm going to give it to them by about the length of the football. Guess that's why they have the chains though.
We'll bring the chains across and take a look at this. And it is a 1st down by just about the length of the football. So that's at the 7-yard line. So Fort Frye 1st and goal. And what was a very pleasant feeling as far as the early lead, the block punt return by Wells, the pass from Griffith to Nippert. Now that the Seminoles with their work cut out, as they don't want to let the cadet team get back in the game. Tuck to throw for the corner, incomplete. Richards, the intended receiver. Miller on the coverage. Nippert coming over from his safety position.
Fort Frye really has put together a nice drive here. You have to think with 2nd down, they're going to take 3 cracks at it, and I would look for them to probably come back with some of that misdirection that they've been doing on this drive. You almost have to think that would be the play call if you were making it.
I think, right there on 1st and goal, that the play action pass was definitely worth the gamble when it's 7 yards to go, and you are 4 down territory. Here is that counter to 6. He'll be about the 5-yard line, be stacked up by Shoemaker and others. Cecil also on the play.
Looks like he only picked up about 2. That's the one thing about the misdirection. He's getting the ball almost directly behind the quarterback, and he runs a good ways before he actually gets back to even.
A lot of those plays are kind of slow developing, and that quickness along the defensive front has a chance to get in there at times. And this would be a good time on 3rd and goal from the 5. Motion, Ellis. They'll give it to Meisel. He runs hard. He's near the goal line, about the 1.
That's a good, strong run by Meisel there. He actually made contact right at the line of scrimmage and drove himself forward, picked up 4 yards, nearly got in.
So that's going to bring up 4th and goal from the 1. Got Shoemaker in on the play. Fort Frye will call timeout to get this play right. As we see Darren Grubb coming in to replace Tucker Roberts for this 4th down play. Coach Singleton out to the huddle to talk about what may happen, and from what Fort Frye showed, there's a whole variety of things that they could do.
Well, this could be a big key in this ball game, Jeff, because with just 5:23 left, it's been a real time-consuming drive for Fort Frye as well, taking up almost 5 minutes. If they aren't able to get the ball into the end zone here, Monroe Central gets the ball back. If they're able to pick up a first down, even if they have to punt, as long as Fort Frye's drives take running the ball, it's going to be close for them to even be able to get it into the end zone.
Well, and as we've talked about, this type of an offense of Fort Frye is not your quick strike, score quickly type thing, and they're going to usually have to take a lot of time. And here they started at their own 30-yard line. They have driven 70 yards and still have not gotten to the end zone. And this is their last shot, or they're going to have to turn the ball over. So 4th down, a yard to go. 4th and goal. It may be a little bit more than a yard as I look down there on the field now. More of a yard and a half. Defense shifting. Huck a long count. He'll give to Meisel, and he'll be stopped short. The goal line stand by the Seminoles. Robert Muntz was driving him back, and Josh Jones had a hold of him and pulling him down.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a defensive play there by Jones and Muntz, because Meisel had some daylight there, and the hole closed almost immediately, and nice job by the Noles.
Well, Josh Jones just refused to be moved out of there, and he held his ground in the back. Meisel had nowhere else to go, and Muntz was come in and got a hold of him and helped pull him back. So a great 2-man job of the seniors, Muntz and Jones. Seminoles will be at their own 1-yard line, but more importantly, they have stopped the Cadets. 5:17 remaining in the first half. Now you need to get a couple of first downs and get out of this hole. That's Jones. He'll be stopped after a 2-yard pickup. One of the Cadets wrestling the ball out of there. That's their defensive end, Anderson. But the play was whistled dead. So 2 yards to the 3. So this is where you don't want to make a mistake to allow the Cadets another opportunity before halftime.
All right, well, there was a situation where the forward progress had definitely stopped. The whistle had blown, and the Jones almost free meat there for him to pick on.
It's a good time for your power pass. Not really. Shoemaker hitting the backfield. He'll struggle to get back to the 3-yard line.
He may have lost a yard there.
And remember last week, and I mentioned this at the very beginning, when Caldwell was leading 15-14, they punted out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And what I felt was a huge sequence of events. Even though the Seminoles didn't score, they got 2 first downs, a couple of big 3rd down conversions, got out near the 40-yard line. Heath Wells hit a great punt, and that sequence turned the field position around. Now then kicked the ball out of bounds for a -2 net, and we went down and scored and took the lead.
Well, exactly. Special teams was a big key last week.
Griffith will throw out of his end zone. He'll be hit. The ball's loose. This doesn't look good. It's going to be a touchdown for the Cadets. Griffith hit as he tried to throw. The ball come loose before the throw, and I'm not sure who got on the ball for Fort Frye, but the officials' signal went up. Touchdown, Fort Frye.
Yeah, we were in a bad position to see the play there, but Griffith obviously evidently didn't get his arm in motion. I never did see the ball. It looked like it got knocked straight to the ground. So
maybe a risky call there. You got throwing out of your end zone, but that's a chance you take. The kick is up and good. So even though the defense holds at the goal line, the offense turns the ball over. That's the first turnover we've had in a couple of weeks, And this one's costly, as it's 7 points for the Cadets. So 3:58 remaining before halftime. Monroe Central 21, Fort Frye 7. So sometimes you take a gamble and it works, and sometimes you take a little bit of a gamble and it doesn't.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to try well, the way Griffith wound up there, it looked like he was going to throw the ball deep to Nipper just on a straight fly pattern down the sideline. If it's not complete, you don't even mind an interception on a play like that because it's going to get them out to 35 or 40. That's possibly what Coach was thinking on that play right there, was to throw it as far as you can. If we catch it, we're out of the hole. If they catch it, it works as well as the punt. It backfired. Griffith got hit before he could let go of the ball.
Yeah, the only problem was he didn't have time to throw the ball, and the turnover puts the Cadets on the board. So now you're going to get a little better field position, but your lead has been cut down by a third. Number 2 is Ellis. He kicks off high, short. This will be Woodby at the 24. He's to 30. Tries to get outside. Has some running room. 45. He's going to the 50. 45-40. Josh Woodby inside the 40 to 37-yard line of Fort Frye territory.
No flags. Bigger key yet. Nice job there. Woodby saw a little daylight. Got up in there, sort of got balled up, broke it to the outside, and I'm not sure who was lined up over on the outside. Probably John Cecil. With the way John blocks on everything, Woodby was able to get outside and turn the corner, and with just 3:47 to go, Monroe Central in real nice field position. They need to put together a drive here and get this score back. They just gave up.
Well, people continue to not want to kick the ball to Nippert, and people have been hurt. This is Jones. He's got first down. He's got more. He's going to have a touchdown. One play, 37 yards. Josh Jones to the end zone, and that's the way to get that score back.
Well, I'll tell you what, wasted no time. Just a simple tailback off right tackle. Jones made a couple nice cuts there, and you know, when you watch that run, Jones is a little tentative with the footwork there, but the grass seems a little bit slick. Fort Frye seemed a little tentative coming at him as well, and Jones turned on the burners there and took it to distance.
There's a radio station down from us there from Marietta, an AM station, Marietta. I just heard their announcer say that puts Jones over 100 yards first half. But that Fort Frye touchdown, well, we'll get that in a second. Grubb's kick looks good, is good. 28-7 Monroe Central. But I was going to say, that Fort Frye touchdown came at 3:58 on the clock. Monroe Central comes back just 21 seconds. Nice kickoff return Woodby. One play, Jones, end zone. And that makes people breathe just a little bit easier.
That does. Now, 3:37. We mentioned earlier, Fort Frye still with some time to put something together here. Same sense, Monroe Central still with some time. If they can get a 1, 2, 3 and out here, get the ball back and try to get one more on it, would almost salt this thing away if they were able to win 35-7.
The last few days at school, got a little byplay with Coach Sarcosta and Coach Shoemaker, who's in charge of the special teams, was, well, Coach, if you get me one, we'll be all right. Well, now Coach Greg will be able to say, well, I got you one, but your offense gave up one.
Yeah.
But you can almost say the special teams, the earlier punt return for the touchdown, and that was definitely set up by the Woodby return. So let's give the special teams credit for 2 scores. Grubb's kick, not real deep. Richards at the 20. Tries to cut back and get to the 35. I believe Matt Cole. And maybe Farnsworth, Adam Farnsworth up from that area also. But the Cadets to the 36, well, just the nose of the ball past the 35. So 3.5 minutes left. Again, as we said, they've not been a quick strike type of offense. Hope the defense can keep them off the board, not give up a big gain here. It'd sure be nice to go in at halftime up 21 points. Huck gives a 6 on the counter. He gets outside. He'll be hit by Cole. 3 yards maybe on the pickup. Looked like the ball carrier 6 able to get outside of Adam Jones that time and get some yardage, but Matt Cole up and made the hit to knock the runner off balance.
Jones actually, he did let him get outside, but he was so close to him, he kept 6 from being able to turn the ball upfield, which is just about the same thing. He strung it out pretty well there and enabled Cole to get up there and make that tackle.
4-man look by the Seminoles. This is 6 on the counter, and nobody's fooled this time.
They've basically lived by that play here in the first half, and sooner or later the defense is going to start staying home, because that's all it boils down to, is they send so many guys in so many directions. You get to following the flow, and their offense basically it's based on misdirection. So once the defense gets their feet underneath them and is able to hold their ground and stay home, they'll start making some plays like that.
I think Adam Jones able to get a piece of that tackle, and a nice job. Huck the throw. He's going deep. His man Richards. A diving attempt incomplete. Miller, the defender. Incomplete. Fort Frye forced a punt.
Richards with an out and up move there. Ben Miller did a nice job not biting. Pretty good coverage. Tell you what, Richards pretty good athlete, because he made a diving stab at that and was able to get a hand on it and didn't come. He just about brought that in.
Well, last year as a sophomore, Richards showed that he was a pretty nice basketball player and a pretty nice baseball player, so he's all around nice athlete. This time the punter, Ellis, able to get off a nice kick. Nippert will fair catch. I'm not real sure why, but at the 27-yard line. And I think as Jesse looked downfield, he's probably saying, why did I do that?
Well, it was an obvious situation where Monroe Central did not have the block on. A lot of times he'll be told if the defense has a block on to automatically call it. We didn't have a block on that time. There were several guys back here to block. So I'll tell you what, I've got the honor of returning punts in high school, and once in a while something comes over you and you just throw that arm up in the air and then it's too late.
So 1:54 remaining in the first half. We'll see what Monroe Central will try to do. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. We'll try to get some more yardage for Josh Jones.
And again, Jeff, the way the offensive line's opened up some holes and Jones has been running here, maybe he just wanted to play it safe and let Jones do the work on that on the ground.
Well, again, as we've said before, you don't want to try to get to everything back at one time. You run a couple plays, see what happens, and then you go from there. Again, with a 28-7 lead, you want to be sure and not make a mistake early in the possession.
A lot of time running off here. We're down to about 1:15, so it'll be interesting to see if they do try to do something to...
There's Jones.
That's going to stop the clock at 1:07, ball at the 44, so there is time. I'm not sure if there's going to be time to ground it out on the ground, but at 10, 12 yards a clip there is, because that clock will stop on every first down.
That will now wind as the Seminoles are back in the huddle. Remember, Monroe Central has 2 timeouts remaining, as they'll get to the line of scrimmage just inside 1 minute. So the need to start hustling things up. Griffith to throw. He's going deep. There's Nippert. That's a nice catch, and he's out of bounds, complete at the 25-yard line.
That's a tough catch. That ball's over your shoulder like that. He had to look straight back over his head. A beautifully thrown ball by Derek Griffith again. So he's clicking. I believe he's 4 for 4 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the one incompletion on the extra point was Cole's. Derek Griffith really coming into his own tonight.
And an extra point attempt, would not count on the game stats. So you're right. That ball coming right over your shoulder. You're looking back into the lights. That's not an easy play, but a nice catch by Jesse Nippert, 25-yard line, and he was able to get out of bounds. Griffith wants to throw. He swings it out for Shoemaker. Complete. He doesn't have a lot of help, and gets to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Timeout, Monroe Central, with 35 seconds remaining.
Nice job that time by Fort Frye. They had 3 defenders out there. Shoemaker caught the pass, turned to look, and we've fooled a lot of teams this year with that particular play. Fort Frye read it real well. did a nice job coming up and making the stop there.
Well, it's not really a screen because there's not the blockers really not out there, or at least they didn't get out there on that case.
Well, you're right. That's more of just a swing pass. Yeah, the rush made it look like a screen, but.
So again, we're 28-7, Monroe Central with 35 seconds remaining. Monroe Central with one more timeout. Again, they spent one earlier on defense, even though our scoreboard still says 2 timeouts. You know, I'm quite certain that should be read 1. And Fort Frye also spent a timeout earlier, so they would only have 2 left, but they're not real interested in stopping the clock at this point in time.
Now, 35 seconds, you know, you think that you might be able to take one in on one play here, but you can almost not chance it at that amount of time. 2 running plays and a half runs out, so we're almost forced to put it in the air. Don't be surprised to see something go towards John Cecil here on that opposite side at the tight end.
Griffith the throw. Here's the screen again. He brings traffic to him and went for, we got 2 flags. We have 2 separate plays. They tried to hit Shoemaker. The ball was hit. We may have a roughing the passer penalty. And I'm going to tell you the other flag is going to be picked up. And we'll see what the call is. Yes, that flag is picked up. The flag was thrown for an illegal receiver downfield, but on a screen play, those linemen are allowed downfield. And so the penalty against Monroe Central was picked up because it was not a penalty on the screen. Griffith will be roughed after he threw the ball.
That penalty will come from the line of scrimmage, which was 25, and it is a major. It should put the ball at about the 12 and a half. 6 seconds ate up on that play, so Monroe Central in a lot nicer position right now with 12 and a half yards away and 29 seconds to go. Probably enough time to run the ball a couple plays or put the ball, still have a timeout, or try to put the ball in the air.
A lot of different things that can be done. Again, we'll get a wide slot with Nippert and Woodby, backs in the eye. I still like that Cecil call. And Griffith, well, you spoke earlier about a jailbreak, and that's about what we had by the cadets as everybody was coming. And I'm not too sure if that wasn't designed to go to John Cecil on a corner route.
He was all by himself out there, too. The thing is, a lot of times Monroe Central is going to spend that last time out. A lot of times the defense is told to hit that tight end and hold him up a little bit, and there was definitely no one hit Cecil. He broke to the corner. Griffith, I think he was even looking that way, just never had the time to get rid of the ball.
And that's a couple times tonight. The play has not really been able to be developed. I'm not keeping track of it. That would be probably the 3rd sack by the cadet defense, and I'm not sure that we've had 3 sacks all year in the first 4 weeks, against our quarterback. But again, there, with needing to let that receiver get down there, Griffith really did not have time to set his feet and throw.
Yeah, even the Magnolia game, which we lost 21-0, the pass protection during that game was excellent. Really, we just weren't able to click. Things weren't running real smooth that night, but we've since corrected that. Tonight, Griffith's being hurried a lot here. The ball it's all the way back to the 20 again.
And as you mentioned, that is the last time out by Monroe Central. So a running play here will take up most of that 22 seconds remaining. We'll get a slot formation to the right with Nippert wide. Griffith rolling right. They'll try to get him away from the pressure. Going for the end zone and is well out of the end zone. The cheers went up from the crowd on the far side, but no question he was way out of the end zone, and that goes as an incomplete pass.
Big advantage to this bird's eye view we get up here. Nippert crossed the line. You could pretty much tell as the ball was thrown it was going to be just a little bit too long, but that's the type of play Monroe Central is going to need to run here. Now they're in a position where they can't kill the clock on a completion or a running play. They're going to have 2 shots to go here, and that's going to be it.
Griffith throwing again, going deep for Nippert, and we'll get a flag. We'll get the flag on the pass interference call. as Jesse Nippert really could not get away from the defensive back. And they'll get him for the interference call. They'll bring the ball back to the line of scrimmage. That'll be half the distance. They'll put it at the 10. 7 seconds left. Time for one shot.
Yeah, the big key on that one, Jeff, was actually Richards had good coverage. He never looked back, and they made contact right there at the end with Nippert. So pretty easy call for the official to make.
So that will be first down at the 10-yard line, and what could very well be the last play of the first half. It seems like the last couple minutes have taken forever. Be a run. Jones still on his feet. 5-3, just shy. He's not there, and that will end the first half. Similar to what we ended up the half against River with the big lead and just a yard short of another touchdown. But good effort by Jones. He wasn't able to get there. So at halftime, you like what you've seen so far. Monroe Central 28 and Fort Frye 7. We'll be right back with your halftime.
We offer the future. Ohio University Eastern means value. OUE offers you 5 4-year degree programs, master's programs, and a state-of-the-art athletic center on campus. Ohio University Eastern means professionalism. The student-to-faculty ratio is 15-1, and over 60% of OUE's instructors have doctorate degrees. Ohio University Eastern means opportunity. The affordable education you get at OUE will open the doors to your future. Call Ohio University Eastern today at 1-800-648-3331.
Hey, Ohio Valley, it's worth the drive to Woodsfield to find the latest trends in decorating and gifts. Pat's Gift Shop has 8 rooms full of unique gifts, furniture, home decor, and collectibles, including Beanie Babies, Cats Meow, cherished teddies, and precious moments. Now's the time to come to Monroe County's oldest and largest gift shop to find out how you can enter their Home Sweet Home decorating contest. It's your chance to win one of several prizes, including a $300 shopping spree, just in time for holiday gift giving or decorating at Pat's. Traveling hundreds of miles for therapy can be emotionally and physically draining and very costly. Woodsfield Nursing and Rehabilitation Center now offers outpatient and inpatient therapy for all ages, including orthopedic and sports rehab, as well as physical, occupational, and speech. Coming soon, in-home respiratory therapy and durable medical equipment for sale or rent, such as hospital beds, oxygen supplies, ostomy supplies, and much more. Watch for future updates at Woodsfield Nursing and Rehab. You have so many commitments in your life and so many decisions to make about your future and theirs, like buying a house, saving for college, making investments, or planning for retirement. At Ormet Credit Union, we're committed to knowing current trends in finance and committed to sharing these methods with our members to help you make better financial decisions. So whether you're college-bound, raising children, or planning for retirement, let Ormet Credit Union help you find financial success, because our commitment is you.
A good football team works together, helping each other to do their best.
A good insurance company works together too, showing you the best coverage for you and your family.
A winning football team shares the glory. The running back needs those blockers to make that long run to the end zone.
A winning insurance agency represents several companies, so you have personally designed coverage to take you wherever you need to go.
The Monroe Central Seminoles have a winning tradition.
And FW Shoemaker has a winning tradition of service, integrity, and customer satisfaction.
2 local traditions that keep on going.
We're just a couple moments away from period number 3. A good quiz, Lance. We always want to take at halftime. We've had a lot going on. Can you go back and remember who scored the touchdowns?
Well, let me think.
You didn't know this was going to be a pop quiz tonight, did you?
I believe Jones took the first one in on the little belly 6 off the right side for about a 6-yard score. Number 88 on the power right special took the second one in on the long pass. That had been Jesse Nippert. Beautifully thrown ball by Derek Griffith. One of the Seminole speedsters took the third one in, Heath Wells. That was the long blocked punt where he picked the ball up and ran it in. And then Josh Jones reeled off 37-yarders. Unlike my school days, I think I scored 100.
And you didn't even have any crib notes.
I and a lot, but what can I say?
I don't know how many times in the past when you get into a game with 4 or 5 touchdowns being scored, you stop back and a kid scores, you think, is that his second touchdown? Is that his third touchdown? So it's not as easy as some people might think.
Now, if you ask me who scored the Fort Frye touchdown or recovered that fumble, I'm going to fail that one, I'm afraid.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that anybody up here in the press box knows who scored that one.
There'll be 4 kids at school Monday morning at Fort Frye saying that they did, I'm sure.
Darren Grubb will kick off for the Seminoles to start the third quarter. And then we might add that the Seminoles were within a yard of another touchdown as time ran out there at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, Monroe Central has 1 timeout left. If they didn't spend the timeout on that defensive stand that they had.
The kick's going to bounce and go down to the goal line and will go into the end zone. A risky play there by the cadet return man, Nathan Ellis. If that ball doesn't bounce into the end zone, he really put himself in a tough spot. But fortunately for him, it went into the end zone, and the ball, once the momentum of the ball forces it into the end zone, then it is a touchback. Cadets come out to their own 20-yard line. You know, Josh Jones told me today at school that the ankle was feeling pretty good. You know, a lot of people didn't realize he turned that ankle on his first carry last week, and over the weekend he said it was really sore.
Well, it was sore as late as Monday evening even, so nice job by the training staff of Monroe Central to get him playing, because he's doing you didn't see any signs of it tonight so far.
Straight handoff, Brooker, 3 yards. Looks like Cecil and Muntz around the legs, 3-yard pickup.
Getting back to what I was saying there about the end of the first half, we spent a timeout as Fort Frye was driving down about the 10 to 15-yard line. You don't use that timeout, and we're able to call it there at the end of the first half at about the 1-yard line. So
even though the scoreboard still showed 1 timeout, and matter of fact, as we've started the third quarter, it still shows 1 timeout, but the Seminoles did not have any timeouts remaining. I'm sure people in the stands were wondering what was going on. A little reverse, but Ellis and the quarterback kind of run together. He'll get a yard or 2, but not a clean exchange between the quarterback, Huck, and the back, Ellis. He kind of stepping through that there as he goes back to the huddle, you know, trying to decide whether he made the mistake or rather the running back did. But that kind of gummed that play up right from the start.
One thing you see about Monroe Central football and Coach Jay Sircosta, and that is that he's a master at adjusting at halftime and coming back out. Now, you can be sure that Monroe Central talked about the misdirection, talked about staying home, and that play, as you said, was a bungle right from the start.
They'll send a man in motion. Huck wants to throw. He's going downfield, and he'll overthrow Ellis, as he had a couple steps on the men over there. Shoemaker and Nippert were the closest to the play, but that will be 3 plays and out for the Cadets as they'll punt it away on their first possession of the second half.
Nice job of pass protection before Frye. A little bit of a rollout action to sort of protect the quarterback that time. He had a lot of time to throw, got in just a little bit of a hurry and overthrew Ellis just a step or 2.
I was out back at halftime, as I know you were. Boy, what a great evening for football. It's a little bit cool in the stands, but that means it's great for the players. It kicks away. It's a low line drive kick. Is going to hit and bounce to the side, and they'll let it roll. Where it'll be downed by cadet number 15, Josh Lockhart. I think Nippert was going to try to get that on the big first bounce, but it took a side bounce, and wisely everyone got away from it. And good field position for Monroe Central at their own 40-yard line as they start the third period with their first possession.
Well, as a punt returner, you're always told to make sure that you catch the ball in the air. There was really absolutely no chance of Nippert being able to catch that ball in the flies. They hit a good 15 to 20 yards in front of him and was a low liner anyway, so sometimes there's nothing you can do about that.
This offense has done a great job through the first half. Griffith will give to Jones. Only a yard. Big number 81, Anderson, and Meisel also on the play. As after a more than 100-yard first half, Jonesy may draw a little bit more of attention here in the second half. So we'll see if some of the other backs, namely Shoemaker, Miller, Woodby, may not be able to take advantage of that.
Well, Jones did most of his damage against the right side, or behind the right side of his offensive line there in the first half. Anderson at 6'2", 200 pounds, a pretty nice-sized kid and a good ball player.
And here's another big rush. Nathan 6 is going to sack Derek Griffith, and that will be I believe the 4th time tonight that Griffith has been sacked. So Derek's rushing yardage isn't going to look real good tonight.
Not sure who the intended receiver was going to be. Number 9 that time, though, Adam Huff, the quarterback, playing corner on defense, had pretty good coverage on Nipper deep down the left side. So, they're suspect to that play-action pass by Monroe Central.
3rd and 19 after a 10-yard loss. And in high school football, a sack is negative rushing yardage for the team and for the individual. They'll give it back to Shoemaker. He'll get some of the yardage back past the original line of scrimmage. But past that marker over there, a lot of cheering from the Monroe Central fans, but that only gets the ball back to the original line of scrimmage and bring up 4th down and 10. 4th and 10. And when you get that long yardage, sometimes you see you get by that big orange marker over there and you think 1st down, not realizing, whoops, there's 10 more yards to get. So Heath Wells will go back in punt formation. 10 men for Fort Frye at the line of scrimmage. And they put some pressure on, kicks away, line drive, it's going to hit and roll. Ellis at his own 21. And he'll stand and look, and Brad Dimmerling had a hold of a jersey, and he'll get a little bit of help from some others, including Tucker Roberts. But he tried to put a little bit of a fake on there, and Brad Dimmerling would not fall for it.
Nice job, Dimmerling, grabbing a hold of the jersey and holding him up, and the help troops were on their way. Tucker Roberts and a couple other Knowles were able to get down the field quick and keep that to just a minimal gain on the run back.
So both teams go 3 plays and out on their initial second half possession. 25-yard line is where Fort Frye will start. We're still 28-7, same place we were at the half. Seminoles in control. Six on that little counter action, and he'll get hit down near the 30. He's still in bounds, says the official. Near 5 yards on the play.
Another just a somewhat slow developing play. He had a nice wall built up out there. By the time he was able to get around the outside of it, Monroe Central's container or the flow was able to get out there and make the stop.
And sometimes on that counter, that wing back, in that case, number 46, Nathan 6, is starting to move prior to the snap, but he is in an up position, and he's moving, backwards. He's allowed to move prior to the snap, and it gives him a little bit of a head start. You see it right here as Ellis goes in motion. They'll give it to Meisel. He's very near a 1st down where he's covered by Miller and Muntz.
They give it a little bit of a Canadian football look with that quick motion right before the snap. As you said there, they are going away from the line of scrimmage, so that's perfectly legal.
You see a little bit of that in some of your arena football, I think.
Exactly.
If the new team comes to Wheeling in that indoor football league, we may see some of that. Any chance of seeing you maybe going down and playing a little bit for that team?
I didn't think so. I've spent some time running some routes against Monroe Central's defensive backs over the years, and I've been a regular now for about 8 years. And I keep telling Coach, time to get some new blood out here, Coach. Some younger guys, some more John Knowltons and such. I'll be 38 before too long. Most professionals don't play that long, and I feel it every time I go out. So I've got one call this year, but they haven't bugged me too hard about it.
1st down, Fort Frye. Again, Ellis in motion. He'll get the ball in the reverse. And he'll be dropped in the open field. That is Ben Miller. Yes, it is. Number 24, Ben Miller, with an open field tackle and a loss on the play of a yard.
John Shoemaker on the heavy run out there trying to get him. Ben Miller able to do a real nice job. Got up there and beat Shoe to the tackle. Nice job of Ben Miller.
You see Darren Grubb has come in defensively now, replacing Robert Muntz. 2nd down and 11. Again, 6 in motion. Hucks hands it to the first back. And he's still driving forward near the 40-yard line. As again, that fake to the man in motion and kind of hand back to the little delay type play there to the remaining back. And that was, I'm not sure, was that Meisel?
It was Meisel again, yeah.
But he's going to get 5, almost 6 yards just to the 40-yard line, bringing up 3rd down and 5.
I'm pretty impressed with him as a running back. He does a nice job of keeping the feet pumping as he goes in there, and he's been hit at the line of scrimmage several times tonight and picked up positive yardage on those runs.
Huck to throw, quick out, nowhere near his intended receiver, number 15, Josh Lockhart, and it will bring up 4th down. Yeah, I think we can see that, this, as we said earlier, this is not Fort Frye's strength of throwing the ball. The young man, Adam Huck, has shown a lot of skill as far as his ball handling and ball faking back there, but throwing the football is not his strength.
Well, and we're down to 5:25 to go in the 3rd quarter now. They've only had 2 possessions. With them running the ball primarily, Monroe Central running the ball primarily, a lot of time gets eaten up off the clock on this side.
To his own 20, he's going to reverse field and be covered at the 27-yard line. An excellent punt by number 2, Nathan Ellis. He's hit the ball real well. The only flaw that they've had in their punting game was the one where he bobbled the snap that resulted in the Tucker Roberts block of the punt, and then picked up by Heath Wells as Heath was able to speed to the end zone for the score.
Not only that was a nice punt, but they got nice punt coverage down the field that time. A lot of times when you get a long punt, you outkick your coverage, and that wasn't the case there.
He'll counter back to Shoemaker, some running room. He's going to have a 1st down across the 40 to 42-yard line. 13-yard pickup by Johnny Shoemaker. And we said earlier, with over 100 yards in the first half and 2 scores by Josh Jones, he may draw a little more attention, so the other backs may have a little bit more freedom during this 3rd quarter.
Well, and that's one of the things you've seen with Coach Jacosta. A lot of different guys get to carry the ball. 1st and 10 just over the 40-yard line. And possibly not on this play, but look for Miller and Woodby to get some carries here pretty quick.
We'd like to see the Seminoles get on the board in the second half, not sit on this lead and not able to get in, as happened to Shady Side. There's Jones. He's going to lose the football.
Looks like Monroe Central was able to get on it. One of the linemen on the back side there.
Looks like Jeremy Beardmore is able to get on that fumble. I finally remembered to use these binoculars I've been carrying around for 5 weeks, and saw that Jeremy Beardmore was able to save the day for the offense.
We talked a lot. Well, we got a chance to talk to Beardy there Thursday evening on the show. Real good kid. He's been a real asset to the Seminole program this year. A real steady performer inside there.
2nd down, 9. Jones again, short game. Well, I think you touched on the show with Jeremy. There, people take for granted that center quarterback exchange, and I'll be honest with you, knock on wood, that in 4.5 games, I don't know that I've seen a bobbled quarterback center exchange thus far.
Well, you're right. He's done just an excellent job. This is the time of season when the weather starts to change a little bit. It's a little cooler tonight than we've been used to. There's where it's the key. They need to.
Well, there may have been the result of the pressure there, where Griff looked like he may have kind of hurried things a little bit through kind of a line drive pass downfield, I believe intended for Miller, and maybe the pressure kind of got to him a little bit after the earlier sacks. He may have tried to unload that a little quicker and not as much air under the ball as you'd like to see.
He threw quite a rope that time. That ball was thrown about 35 yards right on the line. A lot of zip to it.
So the Seminoles get a 1st down, but now go out and we'll have to punt. Wells, his 2nd punt of the half. It's a line drive kick. It's going to hit and take a side roll, and Ellis will pick it up on his knee at the 19-yard line. And a couple of times we've seen kicked balls hit the ground and take some weird hops. And you never know what way a football is going to go, but a kick like that, you'll usually think will keep going down the field a little bit. But as we said before, this field, really not in very good shape. Pretty tore up, a lot of dirt and patchy, grassy areas out there. So maybe we're getting some bad hops.
Well, like you said, with the field condition, there's a lot of dirt showing that would take you'd get the impression it's awful hard, but the ball's definitely not taking the hard bounces.
But as we said earlier, with the close proximity of the river and the flood this summer, maybe this field looks great considering. That's Brooker. And he's dropped, I think,
Wells.
Number 75, Heath Wells. And really, Heath's been pretty well contained up there tonight as far as getting in the backfield and making the plays for a loss. I think only one sack thus far. But, big play there is he'll drop Brooker for a loss of 2 yards back to the 17-yard line.
Well, Heath a lot of times will pick a side. I think if you look at that play again, Heath totally destroyed the center on that play. He went right over top of him. Hit Brooker before he had a chance to even pick a hole.
And that's when you can get the bad exchange between the center and the quarterback, when that center is starting to worry about where his block's going to be. Huck wants to throw. Across the middle, knocked down. Good pressure on the quarterback by Adam Jones. Josh Woodby, the defender, incomplete.
Good timing there by Woody. Seminole's been the victim of a pass interference or two so far this year on close plays like that. Could have gone either way. This was basically the exact same type of play. Nice play. No flag. Third down.
So now on third down, this is where your front four, as we see Beardmore and the four-man front, along with Wells, Muntz, and Cecil. These guys on the front line can really tee off here and go after the quarterback. And Huck will want to throw. He's going deep. And intercepted. That's Woodby. And we've not seen very many intercepted passes so far this year, but that's a big one right there by Josh Woodby to put the offense back in good field position.
Oh, back-to-back good defensive plays by Woody there. And you're right, Jeff. I'll tell you what, you look back through the year, we've not had a lot of balls thrown against us this year. After the Magnolia game and really Shady Side's first half, the pass defense by the Seminoles has really done a great job.
Again, my memory's not real good. I remember one by Josh Jones in the River game. Griffith hands to the aforementioned to Josh Jones, who's going to get 8 yards over near the sideline. Yeah. So I'm not sure the other interceptions. That may be the only one this year, even though Tucker Roberts was claiming interception after a fumble recovery earlier in the year. As you look at the film, he might be right.
I'll tell you, the River Ball game, Tucker had a career night in fumble recoveries. I'm not sure if that's the game he was talking about, but 3 fumble recoveries isn't too shabby.
Yeah, he claimed 2 fumble recoveries and 1 interception. 3 takeaways, no matter how you look at it.
Exactly.
Second down and 1. Shoemaker slams in for his first down inside the 30. And slam he did. That's another one of those plays, Lance. You can kind of hear the cracking of the pads all the way up here. This is where you like to take that turnover and convert that into a touchdown. We're getting real late in the quarter here. Get on easy street, start working on a couple things that maybe you really can't work on normally and practice. And start thinking about, the last half of the season.
Exactly. We're inside the 30, got nippered in the eye this time, so look for possibly to try that pitch again.
And there it is. And I think number 33, Nathan Meisel, probably was thinking along the same thing, because he went untouched into the backfield. Or was that, no, I wasn't the 33, it was 83?
83, Matt Tullius. We've tried that play probably 5 or 6 times this year, and it's just been disaster every time. It's a play that you would think with nippered speed would really work, but every time something seems to happen, and most of the times this year we've had a problem with the pitch. This past time here, that was just a nice job by the defensive end of Fort Frye getting back there and making a big play.
A lot more negative plays from scrimmage than we've seen at any time all year. But still, you like what you've seen at other times. Griffith going downfield, and again, kind of unloading that ball a little bit quick. I think Nippert was the intended receiver, but really nowhere close. But again, some good pressure on Griff.
Nice pressure there. Griff, again, threw a real rope out there that time. looked like that might have been, was that Woodby or was that Nippert out there?
I thought it was Nippert. But again, the ball really, not where it needed to be. But as we said, great pressure. 3rd down and 20. We see Miller as the tailback. Screen coming. Shoemaker unable to hang on to the pass. That will be incomplete. And usually the screen's a good play against a heavy rush, but connection not able to be made from Griffith to Shoemaker. With 9 seconds remaining in the quarter, we'll get our 3rd Heath Wells punt of the second half. And again, not a lot of positive yardage here in this 3rd quarter after a very, very good offensive first half. Again, some pressure. Heath gets an end-over-end kick. It's going to hit at the 5 and roll into the end zone.
So when you want the roll, you don't get it. You don't want the roll, you do get it.
That's
sort of Murphy's Law.
So that play will take us to the end of the 3rd period. 28-7, Monroe Central. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jeff Waddell. This is my wife Jenny and daughter Ashley. Along with our sons Jeff and Tim make up our family. As you can see, I've got a vested interest in the future of Monroe County, my family. I've lived here all my life and I love it here. My dream is that someday my children can live here and work here too. I do not accept that we can't create or bring jobs to Monroe County. I know we can. I've done it. Many families like ours can't ride their bikes down Main Street because they've been forced to leave because of no jobs. I'd like an opportunity to change that. With your help, I can.
Vote for my dad November 3rd.
As time passes, your needs change. Woodsfield Savings and Loan has changed to meet those needs. At the Woodsfield Savings Bank, we know your schedule requires a drive-through and night deposit box. You want convenient parking, direct deposit, and automatic payments. At our new location on State Route 78, we want to meet your needs for a home mortgage, car loan, checking, and savings account. Our name and location have changed, but we're still here to serve our community and to help you to grow. The Woodsfield Savings Bank.
The 4th period will get underway with Fort Frye 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line after that 39-yard punt by Heath Wells. Huck will try to keep it and be dropped in the backfield by Robert Muntz. A loss of 5 on that play, and good job by Muntz with the open field tackle.
Well, Seminoles and Muntz did exactly what he needed to do there. He's on this right side here, the defensive tackle position. Fort Frye is going to try to roll out, get away from Wells, and get a little extra time. And that's where Monroe Central needs to turn to some of these other guys and get some pass rush. Right there, Robert Muntz did an excellent job.
So 2nd down and 15. Again, some straight motion. They'll give the fake to Ellis. Huck still has it. He's got some pressure from the backside and be dropped by Adam Jones.
Adam went a long ways that time around the right side there. Huck tried to make a pump fake and just slowed him up enough to where Jones got there and made a big hit.
Looked like Muntz and Roberts both there, in the area, and may have had a hand on him to slow him down. But then from that backside, Adam Jones just, coming. I'm sure the quarterback Huck didn't realize there was anyone there.
That's been a strong point for Monroe Central all year, their pass rush. Anytime you get a team in a position where they have to throw the ball, and that Seminole front line's able to pin their ears back and go, it causes some problems.
Official stepping in and readjusting the ball for the center. 3rd and long after consecutive sacks. Inside back again, Meisel. He'll get to the 15-yard line. Well short of the first down. And I think the linebackers, Jones being one of the tacklers there, Josh Jones, and he had some help. Now bring up another punting situation for the Cadets as we go inside 10 minutes remaining in the game. Ellis to kick, Nippert deep. Low snap. And high short kick is going to hit over at the 40-yard line and keep rolling. And speaking of rolls, that's going to roll all the way to the 41-yard line in Monroe Central territory.
About a 44-yard punt that time. So just after we start talking about the ground conditions and the fact the ball doesn't seem to bounce, we get 2 long rolls back to back here.
That ball probably went less than 30 yards in the air and better than 15 yards on the roll.
Still good field position for the Seminoles. I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't the last offensive possession here with the first unit in. If they're able to take the ball down and score or even eat up some of the time here, I would look for Coach Circosta to bring in some of the younger kids.
Griffith gives the ball to Shoemaker right in the middle of that line, and the going has been tough in the second half right up the middle. Shoemaker will still get forward for a couple of yards. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to give him to the 44-yard line, so give Shoemaker 3 yards. 2nd and 7. This is, as you mentioned, you'd like to see the offense just kind of, grind it out, a nice ground-oriented drive. The passing game has had some big plays thus far tonight, but in the second half, a couple of sacks. And we're going to try another pass and backside pressure. And it's a screen out here to Shoemaker. He's got some running room, 40, 35, cuts back. And he's going to be to the 20. He's still on his feet to the 15. Still on his feet to the 10.
Tell you what an effort that time by Johnny Shue. Going to pick up almost 50 yards on that play.
50 yards, close to it on the play. That'll help the passing stats on a great effort by Shoemaker as he cut back against the grain. Looked like a couple guys were going to have a shot at him, but he was able to keep it going and let a big young man like Johnny get going there, and he's tough to bring down.
Well, Fort Frye did an excellent job on the screen pass there in the third period. Pretty much bottled it up, and even once in the second quarter was able to bottle it up. Shoemaker got the ball there and was able to turn, get the shoulder squared upfield, and showed some pretty nice speed and some nice moves.
At the 7-yard line now, 1st and goal. Griff, Shoemaker counters, drives forward near the goal line. Mark him at the 1.
Referee John Cecil signaling touchdown, but this doesn't count.
Johnny does a lot of refereeing.
Tell you what, he earned some of that because he does a nice job blocking up there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Monroe Central come here with Shoemaker right behind Cecil.
Well, this is a situation where, on the screen pass, Shoemaker was able to get it down there close, so he deserves the opportunity to take it to the end zone. 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. And that is Shoemaker. And look at that line surge as he's into the end zone. The offensive line just moved the Cadets back 3-4 yards into that end zone, and it was an easy touchdown from 1 yard out for Shoemaker. His first of the evening.
So who were those other 4? I forget.
Where's those notes you used before?
Okay.
2 for Jones, 1 for Nippert, 1 for Wells, and now 1 for Shoemaker. Darren Grubb. Matt Cole hold. Kick is down. And from here it looks good. And is.
That ball had a little more conventional flop to it as it went over the bar. They all count the same now.
That's 3 for 3 tonight for Grubby. And I think that takes him to about 11 of 13 placements for the year. And that's not bad.
Not bad when you consider that was a question mark coming in because Kramer had handled those duties for a while. New guy stepping in to kick, and there you have it.
So that touchdown coming at 7 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the game. 35-7 Monroe Central. And as I said, you like getting that score on the board in the second half. As you can see, the kickoff team huddling around Coach Shoemaker.
We talk about that kicking game, and every year you have questions as far as who's going to handle the extra points. And this year, Grubber's a senior, so we're going to have to look again next year. Something I saw this year, I referee some junior high games. I can't ever remember a Woodsfield and Skyview Elementary team, or as far back as I can remember, Woodsfield kicking extra points. Chris Yoho is, I believe he told me earlier, 11 for 13 this year, kicking extra points from the junior high level. A fellow by the name of Steve Hicks has been working with those kids, and tell you what, there's a possibility for our kicker next year.
Grubby's kick is down, and the man, Ellis, takes the ball on a knee at the 16-yard line. And that's a mistake, as he went to his knee to field that ball. So Fort Frye is going to be in a hole.
But nowadays, Jeff, when you got a star for certain accomplishments on your helmet, people remember the old Woodsfield helmets had stars on them for certain things. That would have been a freebie right there for all the guys on the kickoff team, because anytime you stop the opponent inside the 20, you got a star for your helmets. Not so the case anymore.
Not that the coverage team did a whole lot, but a couple of those guys in the middle is going to say, well, they saw me coming, so he went to his knees.
Well, you feel like you work so hard for some of them. A freebie once in a while is nice.
Huck wants to throw. He's hit as he throws. He tries to throw it back here to the near side to number 83, Tullius. It's incomplete.
Just a simple case again. Monroe Central with the heavy pass rush. Huck threw the ball back against his body and actually never did get his shoulder squared. So that's a real tough pass to throw, dangerous pass to throw.
That stops the clock at 7:32 remaining. And as you mentioned, now it's 35-7. If the defense is able to stop this and get the ball back, then we may see some new people and some clean shirts starting to move out onto the field. We get motion from 6. Huck wants to throw. There's Adam Jones. He's going to take him down. The ball's loose.
Fort Frye was able to get on top of this one, I believe, but another nice job by a sophomore, Adam Jones, number 34. Fort Frye was able to cover that ball, but there's another big loss clear back to almost the 5-yard line.
Well, from our vantage point, you could just see from the backside, Adam Jones full speed, and had the quarterback in his sights. And once he made the hit, the ball was loose. But as you said, a cadet able to get back on it, but a loss all the way back to the 6-yard line.
Well, that's a blind side hit, and one thing you'll notice about Adam Jones is he's a threat every time to knock that ball loose, because he comes across with that, what they call a chop or a tomahawk swing at that ball every time, and he did knock the ball loose there.
We do see Brad Ledwig in defensively now, and we're going to get a whistle, and this play is dead.
We had motion that time on Fort Frye. That's going to back him up even more.
But starting to maybe get a couple guys in here defensively. Brad Ledwig getting a little bit of time, because if something would happen, somebody needs to come out there. Bradley's probably going to be one of the first subs to go in that secondary. So here's a great opportunity for him to get a few plays in some passing situations. And when given the opportunity earlier in the year, he has been in on some plays. So he's replacing Matt Cole right now on defense.
Shoemaker's still in at linebacker, but they've got Jones out, and I can't pick the number up of the other inside linebacker right now for the Noles on the left side. Possibly Jeremy Beardmore, though.
It is Beardmore, and we're going to have a sack and a safety.
Munson Wells.
Give him 1 point apiece, maybe, huh?
But I'd have to split it. They announced it here as Robert Muntz, but the ever-present Heath Wells was right there as well.
That's because Muncie jumped up and was the guy you saw there as he celebrated that sack in the end zone for a safety.
Worst part about this situation for Fort Frye is that forces them to have to kick the ball back to Monroe Central.
So that takes it to 37-7 with 6:08 remaining in the game. That's the first safety we've seen in 5 games, and not something you see a lot of during the course of a season.
The job Monroe Central's pass rush is done all season. We've talked about it over and over, but that threat's always there. Anytime you can back someone up into, they were sitting in a 3rd and long situation, that's the danger you come up with.
Well, to answer your question, the linebacker on the far side was Jeremy Beardmore in that situation as he was getting some time in. We see some of the younger kids starting to stretch out on the sidelines and try to get loose. They will punt this free kick, and Shoemaker at the 41. He's the midfield. He's still on his feet and still on his feet to the 35, 32-yard line. And we're going to get the JV offense. And they're going to get about 6 minutes of playing time here, and that's great to see. Because now the first liners, they can start resting up a little bit. May come back in defensively if Fort Frye leaves their first unit in, and they can start getting ready for that big showdown next week against an undefeated Tyler Consolidated team.
We luckily will get them at home, so we need for the fans out there to really pour out and get out there and support the Noles, because tell you what, it's become big, a home field advantage there.
This is Matt Cole as the quarterback. He gives to Adam Farnsworth, and he's going to lose a yard.
Fort Frye still sticking with that first offensive group, and here you see them coming in with their second group now, so battle a little more on an even keel.
Well, they had 5 or 6 guys go to the field and nobody come out, so I'm not sure what they've got here.
A bigger disadvantage, I guess.
And somebody, the Fort Frye is going to call timeout there as they try.
They do have 11 on the field.
That's one thing you always check there to see how many they had there. But again, that's people don't realize how difficult that is. In this situation when you try to get people on the field and people not sure who they're going in for, who they're coming out for, is getting the right people, the right number of people, and at the right positions.
Well, that's it. And when you come out there and you have a play, it's right in the middle of a series. After a first down run, you decide to bring them in. You take that chance. Referees are normally pretty generous as far as calling the delay in a situation like that, but they just had to use the timeout anyway.
So among the players that we'll see out there now, Matt Cole is quarterbacking this group. We'll try to get some of these names as we go.
Got Eric Brown on the wing, David Forrest at the tight end position.
Farnsworth and Ludwig in the backfield.
I see Randy Seifert in there, right tackle.
There's Ludwig on a straight dive. He's going to have nice yardage to the 26-yard line. We mentioned Eric Brown. Also, you're going to see Brad Ludwig on that carry. Dave McKee, Adam Farnsworth, Dustin Rose, Nick Tennant on the line, along with Tom Harris.
Here comes the crippler in right now, matter of fact.
Randall Seifert, Dan Harris, Ryan Van Wy, David Forrest, Preston Kilburn among the JVs that will be getting time the rest of the way. And Ryan Burkhardt, who usually quarterbacks this group, has been hampered this week with an injury, so he may not be able to play, or coach may not use him this week. We get the motion by McKee and flag down, and this is where things just start happening there as far as penalties. And it will be an offside call, an encroachment call against the defense.
It's going to give this JV group a first down.
And that's always an accomplishment there. When you go in as a JV group at the end of a varsity game, your number one goal is just get a first down or two. And then if you can get yourself in position to score, then, so much the better. An opportunity for Matt Cole to get some time in because he's not been playing with the JVs this year. Chance for him to get some game action. Farnsworth on the carry. He'll have 5 yards down near the 16-yard line. And behind that left side of the line, I think Dan Harris over there. And Ryan Burkhardt now comes in at quarterback. So an opportunity for 2 or 3 snaps there for Matt. Now we'll get the freshman Burkhardt in.
Cole was forced into action a little bit this year when Derek Griffith got hurt early. So, that's a big key to have a backup dependable like that. Cole's a junior, so, you never know. The depth sometimes is a problem in high school, and Matt's pretty capable.
That was Adam Farnsworth on the carry again. 3rd down now at the 15-yard line, 3rd and 4. Matt Cole in and Burkhardt back out. Maybe Steve Spurrier's calling the plays over alternating quarterbacks every play, like the University of Florida.
Well, you talk about alternating quarterbacks, I have to think of John Cooper from Ohio State. I never agreed with it, but right here I didn't see that it's a problem.
And here's Matt Cole. He's going to show some speed try to get to the corner. He's at the 5 to the 3-yard line. Matt Cole, first down. 3:10 on the clock as the JVs try to punch one in.
Now's when your JVs are all talking to themselves in their heads saying, give me the ball, coach. Come on, coach.
So first and goal at the 3-yard line. Again, Burkhart coming in for Cole. Also Davey McKee in for Eric Brown. That tells us that Brownie returned a kickoff for a touchdown in the JV game at Caldwell Monday night. 80 yards and showed some nice speed.
Brownie's one of those kids that went to St. Sylvester's and missed 2 years of football, so he really missed out.
Brad Ludwig, 3-yard run into the end zone. So another Ludwig in the end zone.
I'll tell you what, you got to like seeing that. Brad Ludwig hasn't got a lot of playing time. He's done an excellent job on the special teams for the Noles. Little bit of time tonight with that first unit on defense. Get him in the books there on the touchdown run now.
Well, I hope we had a shot there as the JV group went off the field and the regular extra point kicking team. Come on, a lot of high fives between those varsity guys and the JV guys, and you like to see that. Yeah. So Grubby again. And wide left. First time this year we've seen Darren miss one that wasn't blocked.
Grubby got too much of a rest that time. JV unit out there, he needs to be tired to kick him, I think.
A cool night, maybe he stiffened up a little bit. So 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this game. Brad Ludwig's touchdown has extended the Seminole lead to 43-7.
Someone sitting in the stands, Jeff, with that Sideliners 50-50 board and with the numbers 4 and 7 just sat back down in her seat and probably isn't real happy. In the same sense, someone with the 3 and the 7's got to be pretty happy with it.
But all that safety sure changed the score on the board, didn't it?
Yep, like it always does. I end up with a 3 and a 7 on one of those, or a couple 7s. It never fails. There's a safety or a missed extra point, and it just messes all the numbers up. But 7 and 3 tonight, good numbers.
Well, Fort Frye now has 12 men on the field to return this kickoff. Now they get one of them off, so they'll be lined up as regular return. Looks like the JV kickoff team is in action.
Looks like Preston Kilburn might get a shot to put his foot into the ball here.
Again, this is all a JV cover team. And Preston kicks away. It's a bounce. Be picked up by number 20 at the 20-yard line. He's still on his feet, and now he's covered on the far side. The Reader is the ball carrier, and a lot of white shirts on the tackle.
Yeah, there's going to be sometimes you look in the book and there's only 40 plays, but there were 44 tackles. That's the situation there. You got to give 3 or 4 guys credit for a tackle on that play. But
good coverage to the 24-yard line. So again, that kickoff team there gets the coverage. As we said, stop them inside the 30. They stop them inside the 25. And number 43 is Josh Long, the ball carrier. Looked like number 82, David Forrest, along with Daniel Harris on that play. David Forrest had a piece of him. The guy kind of spun off and then finished up by Daniel Harris. We're at 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the game. These JVs will be in action on Monday on the home turf.
Get a chance to get out there and watch them. We've had some pretty nice crowds out there. They've done a nice job.
The ball is loose.
I'd say the Noles may have come up with this one. They do.
Preston Kilburn. Yes, sir. Number 86, Preston Kilburn, gets a fumble recovery. So another chance at 150 for the JV offense. But as I was saying, a Monday night, Fort Frye scheduled to come to town. Starting time approximately 5:30. The JVs have played 4 games thus far. 0-3-1, but they've been in right in every game or been ahead into the fourth quarter. But with only 13 people dressed, their depth just really hurts them. As I think they said last week at Caldwell, the Caldwell Redskins had some 25 kids dressed, and on a hot night, our guys just kind of wore down. But they have played some real good football, considering.
Well, you're right. That makes it tough. And Coach Sirkostas in a position here this year. The numbers are down a little bit. And as we mentioned earlier, he gets a lot of guys into the ball game. He's running plays in and out with linemen, with backs, with receivers, shuffling some guys in and out on defense as well. So
here's Ludwig bouncing to the outside. He'll get the 5 yards back for the penalty plus more. Brad Ludwig give him 12 yards, 2nd down and 3, but after the penalty before the play had created a 1st and 15, Ludwig bounces the outside with a nice run. Nothing fancy to it, just nice job up front and good running by Ludwig. I think Bradley trying to get to the end zone again.
Smiley.
Ryan Burkhart, he'll pitch to Brown. That's Eric Brown. We get a flag down as he'll be pulled down from behind, lose a couple of yards. That's number 20, Eric Brown.
That's his first varsity carry, I believe.
I believe so.
Going to get a hold on the back side there from Monroe Central. Not really a hold in an area where that's going to make a big difference, I guess. But Monroe Central will get that 2nd down over again if Frye takes the penalty.
Dave McKee and Dustin Rose into the lineup replacing Brad Ludwig and Eric Brown as they'll mark the penalty off, putting the ball back at the 40-yard line. 1:06 left.
It's going to be about a 2nd and 15 now.
We'll get motion by Rose. We'll get a straight handoff to
Davey McKee, the crippler.
He was hit hard and dropped down. That play just looked funny as it came off. I'm not sure. You had people moving at 2 or 3 different times. Loss of a yard, possibly by McKee on that play. We're at 35 seconds. I would say one more play, and that will take us out of here.
I'd say look for Dustin Rose this time. That's exactly who it is.
He'll get some yardage, 6 yards by Dustin Rose.
Nice job by Rosebud that time. Showed a little bit of power, kept the legs moving, and forced the pile forward.
In this situation, too, I think, Coach Sirkostas or Coach Sherman, whoever is calling the plays at this time over there, trying to get all of his backs a carry.
Well, I believe he got every one of them a carry that time, with the exception of Ryan Burkhart, who you don't want carrying the ball. That's your quarterback.
And that's good for those kids. Now they'll have their name in the stat sheet at the end of the year in the program at the banquet, and gives them something to feel good about.
That's how you build a program. Let the kids play.
That'll take us out of here. Great job by the Seminoles. 43-7, Monroe Central is the winner. And before we go out of here, as you said earlier, big game next week. Get everybody out to the ball game and stuff, because Tyler Consolidated, 4th home game of the year, and all 4 opponents that have come into the Seminoles home turf have been undefeated when they have rolled into town. Magnolia was 1-0, River was 2-0, Caldwell was 3-0, and Tyler Consolidated is 5-0 with an off week this weekend.
Well, they were here tonight. I had a chance to talk to an old college buddy of mine, Rob Caldwell, down here with Coach Rick Leach, their head coach. Coach Stender was here. A couple of the players were down here watching. So I'll tell you what, nice win for Monroe Central, 43-7, but no time to celebrate because Tyler Consolidated has a ball team. They wouldn't be 5-0 if they didn't have a good ball club. They're going to have to start cracking the pads come Tuesday evening and get ready for a battle next Friday night.
So let's get out Monday night, come see the JVs play, and be ready to roll next Friday night. It's parents' night. So always a lot of excitement, and on that is everybody tries to put on a good show with their parents there, and a big game as far as OVAC and computer points and that. So the Seminoles with 4 wins in a row, and there's a lot of work to be done.
I'll tell you what, Tyler Consolidated 5-0, a triple-A as far as the OVAC is concerned. Monroe Central coming into the week, we're in 4th place. there's a possibility for a big jump in the standings with the win next Friday night.
So that'll pretty well take us out of here. So again, thanks, Jason Jones running the camera tonight. As you see the people leaving the field, 43-7. And we'll check Dale and Joe's camera work out on the Indian Creek game on Saturday afternoon, Nat. But they have a couple more of those games coming up. So hopefully we all pass the test, and they'll have us come back next week.
Okay. If not, I'll see everybody Thursday night.
Yeah, remember, Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Join Lance and Coach Circosta for the Coach's Corner. Hey, great night for the Seminoles. We'll see you next week. Final score once again, Monroe Central 43 and Fort Frye 7.